all the single ladies, 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 put your hands up.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first podcast for the Fantasy Football League run by Illini Soul. That would be me, Scott. I am the owner of the worst team possibly in fantasy history. That would be the Peoria Juiced Penguins. I really don't think they're so bad, but we happen to be 0-5, so I guess I'm a fool. Anyway, I was tired of typing, and I have a podcast due in my technology class this week, so might as well make it about football. Alright, we're going to do the standard format where I go through each matchup, and we're going to go ahead and pick the winners. Been trying to get a hold of Team Bowling all day to get him on here so we can talk about his mom and he can respond and, do some funny shit, but I'm going to have to go ahead and figure out how to bleep that kind of thing out because I do tend to have a bit of a potty mouth. So, yeah, let's see if I can edit later. But yeah, Bolin's been avoiding my phone calls all day, so I guess I'll just have to talk about his mom without him responding, which is pretty much the way it usually goes. Alright, but the first matchup is the Peoria Juiced Penguins, who are 0-5 with a 5-game losing streak against the Dream Team, who is now, 2-3, Steven's team. Alright. Bad news for Steven's team. Matthew Stafford is out for the game on Sunday. At least that's the way it appears at Green Bay. Josh Johnson is his only quarterback remaining. The new kid from Tampa Bay, who actually looks pretty good. He has, He scored 19 points in his last game at Philadelphia, so that's a pretty good sign. Thomas Jones at home in Buffalo, well, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Larry Fitzgerald is playing at Seattle, which you would think would be a good matchup. He did score 24 points last week, so that looks promising. Don't really see a lot else that I like except for the Steelers against Cleveland. Steelers could score like 42 points in that game. I don't know. Cleveland's terrible. What do I have? The Juice Penguins have Kurt Warner at Seattle. That looks good. Garrard against St. Louis. That looks freaking great. Forte's been getting steadily better as the year's gone on. He started off with 5 points, then 10, 16 last week. Well, week 4 before the bye was 21. Coming off the bye to play at Atlanta looks really nice. What else do we got? Greg Jennings. You never know about that son of a gun. He's been a little bit irritating this season. 29 points, 0 points, 12 points, 6 points. So yeah, coming off the bye week, hoping for big things against Detroit. Don't like much else on my team. Tony Gonzalez. He's pretty good. Antonio Bryant looks like he's going to play this week. He practiced this week, so I like it. Let's see. ESPN has, for some strange reason, the Peoria Juiced Penguins winning 129-113. I'm going to agree with, ESPN. I think my team finally gets it done this week. I'm probably a fool, but I don't know what to say to that. All right. Let's go to the next matchup. How was that? Was that fun? Was that good for you? I don't know. Sounds kind of stupid on my end, but I just really don't want to type anymore, so this is how we're going to do it. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, by the way, my internet is slower than, I don't know, something that's really bloody slow. So, what do we got here? Oh, still yanking. Sitting at 1-4. Not good. Against Pop King's Doc, that would be Fantasy God Lance, who, since I turned the coin, Fantasy God Lance has gone 0-2, which I really, really enjoy. But let's see here. Still yanking. What does John have this week? An injured Carson Palmer. What's up with that injury? Let's see. What does it say? Palmer is an idiot. He's not very good. But he did practice fully all week, so he should be playing against Houston. Brett Favre against Baltimore. Don't like that matchup at all. Maurice Jones-Drew. I mean, if there's going to be a big game, it should be against St. Louis at home, He did score 40 points at Houston a couple weeks back, but then rifled off 12 against Tennessee and 10 at Seattle. So, you never know with Maurice Jones-Drew, but hell, you'd expect him to have a pretty big game. Steve Smith from Carolina. He's playing at Tampa Bay. Hasn't been all that great this year. Yeah. Brian Westbrook at Oakland. I don't know. I don't really like Brian Westbrook either. But what are you going to do? He did score 10 points last week as well. And Oakland's awful. Speaking of Oakland being awful, fantasy guy Lance starts Jamarcus Russell against Philadelphia this week. That looks like trouble. He also starts Dante Culpepper, the replacement for Matthew Stafford in Detroit, against Green Bay, at Green Bay. Man, does that look terrible. We got Steve Slayton at Cincinnati. Don't like that. A probable Pierre Thomas. Let's take a look at that injury. He's from Illinois, so he's probably going to stink just like my Fighting Illini this year. Let's see. Limited in practice all week, but expected to play. Well, that's not very exciting. Against the Giants, they're going to need him, but I think they'll be behind and have to pass. Let's see. Calvin Johnson listed as questionable against Green Bay, at Green Bay. Missed practice all week. That does not look good for Lance. Braylon Edwards doesn't excite me either. I don't know. Fantasy guy Lance has come back to earth in a big way here. I'm going still yanking without a question. Holy smokes. ESPN picked John's team to win 168-96. It's like a 6-point difference. I don't think it'll be that big. Shit, Lance will probably win. But yeah, I'm taking still yanking. Alright. I do like that term, fantasy guy Lance. Makes me happy. Oh boy. I figure if anybody's going to actually listen to this thing, it'll be Bowen, because I like to talk shit about his mom, and he doesn't really appreciate it, so he probably wants to hear what I have to say. Ollie always listens to my crap, or, reads my crap, so dang it, I'm going to have to bleep that out later, too. Anyway, so I'm sure Ollie will read it, and I don't know. Alex has been pretty loyal to my stuff as well. Ooh. Look at the Detroit Geronimos and Allen starting a guy with a bye week. You better get that fixed, because I hate it when people don't have their lineup set when I do this, because I'm too lazy to actually go through their whole team and look at who they have on the bench. Let's see, what do we got? Allen is starting Trent Edwards. Never liked starting Trent Edwards, although I think he's been better than I think he has been. Let's see. Does that make sense? I don't think it did. Oh, he's awful. Last 3 weeks, 5 points, 7 points, 8 points. That's not good. Also starts Kyle Orton at San Diego. I actually don't mind that. Kyle Orton's been sick this year. 20 points, 16, 12, 26, 23. That's damn good. That's like top 5. Very, very nice. Steven Jackson at Jacksonville. That kind of has a ring to it. I kind of like it. He scored 10 points in each of his last games. Has no rushing touchdowns this year. That's not very good. But you know what? Getting a lot of yards in every game. His lowest rushing total, 67. I like it. I think he has a big game this week. Marion Barber is the guy that's on a bye. Anyway, what else we got? Vincent Jackson, you gotta like him. Hate Derby Henderson. The guy's a jerk. I'll tell you about it off the air sometime or something. I don't know. He scored 5 points last week, 7 the week before. He stinks too. He's a jerk and he stinks. Owen Daniels is pretty good. Bradshaw is kind of hurt. Yeah, nothing really floats my boat on that team. Let's see. Ali, of course, starting Brady and Rivers. They're good. Cedric Benson destroyed the Baltimore defense last week. How many points did he have? I know it was a lot. You see that? Now I don't have to go back and edit that out. He scored 21 points last week on 120 rushing yards and a touchdown. He's already got 3 touchdowns this year. 4 out of 5 games he was above 14 points or above. Not bad. Cedric Benson is killing it this year. Of course, he starts Adrian Peterson at well. If Cedric Benson can rush for 120 and a touchdown, AP should be good for like 150 and 2 scores. Brandon Marshall's come out of his shell, been pretty good. The other Steve Smith has been probably better than the actual Steve Smith. You know what I'm saying? This is the one with the Giants. The other one's with Carolina. Oh, hell yeah. Heck yeah, is what I meant to say. This Steve Smith, much better than the other Steve Smith. Look at these point totals. 14, 29, 19, 36, 10. I bet that's top 10 wide receiver right now. I don't really know how to look that up without actually doing work. So we're just going to say he's top 10 this year. How about that? I'm just going to make a wrap up. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Also, Anquan Bolden. Now let's just compare Anquan's numbers to Steve Smith's numbers. Alright, Anquan had 3, 14, 20, 13. Again, Steve Smith, way better. 14, 29, 19, 36, 10. Alright, so that's how good Steve Smith has been. Ridiculous for Ali. I don't know what he's doing. As bad as that guy was in the fantasy baseball team, his football team is unstoppable.